There's something about star athletes in high school that people love. Maybe it's the fact that you could literally be witnessing a pro athlete before they even get to that level. There's just something about the presence of high school and college athletes that people are attracted to. Except for this guy. The player we're going to talk about in this video single-handedly sabotaged and ruined his own career. It's really hard to feel bad for him because he brought all of this upon himself. A lot of people have mixed emotions about him. Some people thought what he was doing on the football field, it was funny. On the other hand, there was a lot of people who hated him. You had some people stating he was a washed and wasted talent. One key piece of information to throw in there is that he was a star on a Netflix show called The Last Chance U, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. I can honestly say without a doubt in my mind, him being on a TV show was the worst thing for him at the time. The only thing that show did for him was give him a bad reputation, and it only got worse. For example, this person stated, "One guy on the show I never liked, always thought he knew more than everyone." You may be sitting there wondering, yo, why did everybody hate this guy? What was going on? For starters, how about this? After one of his games, he went up to a player and said he was going to give his mom back shots. Yeah, if you don't know what that means, you can go look it up for yourself. If that's not good enough for you, how about this? In the Netflix show, you can go rewatch it. I can't throw it up on the screen because they have copyright rules. He pointed at an opposing player before he snapped the ball and said 73 is a B word, then hiked it. Those are just some of the antics. I could go on, but let me read you off a comment that somebody else said. Quote unquote, "Dude is just a P word, constantly talks back, doesn't want to work hard, relies on talent alone, and you know what? He might have good crap in there, but he's literally the crappiest athlete in that season." When I tell you there is thousands, I mean there is thousands of hate comments just like that one. You know how people say they have haters? No. You don't understand. This guy didn't have haters. He had people that literally hated him. There's a difference. It wasn't so much the trash talking, it was his attitude towards his teammates, coaches, and everyone around him. We've seen cocky athletes all the time. Malik Henry, he wasn't just cocky, he was a cocky a-hole. Or maybe a-hole is a bad way to say it. I don't want to call him no names. He was disrespectful to his own coaching staff and just people around him, like I said. It really rubbed you the wrong way, and let me give you a great comparison. Yeah, Johnny Manziel, we can all agree, he was cocky, but he wasn't disrespecting his head coach, the coaching staff, and doing all that other stuff. Here's the thing. If you didn't like Johnny Manziel, more than likely, you weren't a Texas A&M fan. But if you were a fan of the team, you loved him. The difference with Manziel and Malik Henry, and we'll talk more about this later in the video, Henry didn't have many people that liked him at all. What I'm talking about is just a small sample size, and I already know this is going to be a long video because before he even got to Last Chance U, he got kicked off of Florida State. He got kicked off of Florida State, Last Chance U, and the next school he went to. Every college he was at, he got kicked off of. Remember how I told you people had mixed emotions and didn't know how to feel about him? Maybe it's because of his dad. Check out this comment from nearly 3 years ago. Quote unquote, "He seemed so dang depressed on Last Chance U. His dad left when Malik was 3, came back when he saw he was a talented athlete, then forces him to play quarterback while he wanted to play baseball instead. Yeah, Malik might be an a-hole, but his dad just doesn't care about him at all." Whoa, hold on. That is an interesting fact, not about his dad, but the fact that Malik actually wanted to play baseball instead of football. If you haven't followed up with this guy, you wouldn't know what's going on, but lucky for you, I'm going to inform you. He actually was really good at baseball, and many speculated that's what he loved and really wanted to do, but his dad forced him to play quarterback. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. You know how parents try to live their dreams through their kids? That's what was going on. Don't get me wrong, I'm not excusing how Malik acted. There's no excuse for that. But it almost leaves you wondering, did he really want to play football? I want you to really think about this. Try to have sympathy and put yourself in his shoes. Imagine your favorite sport is baseball, and then out of nowhere, your dad randomly comes back in your life and makes you play football. Did he physically make him play? No, but he had a big word in it. I can't speak for you, but if I'm doing something that I don't want to do, I'm not going to give it 100% max effort, at least not all the time. There's a ton of questions that people have about Malik Henry that are lingering around till this day. But it all comes back to the main question we're going to try to figure out in today's video. What really happened to Malik Henry? Look, real quick, before we get into this video, we're on the road to 200K, so if you would help on our channel, help us reach our goals, hit that subscribe button. It's free. You can always unsubscribe later in 2 weeks. I know there's a bunch of you watching, you're not subscribed, so help us out. Let's see if we can get closer to 200K from this video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. Man, oh man, good old Malik Henry. That is a name I haven't heard about in a while, and I'm actually excited to get into this video because I want to know what happened and what went wrong. His football career was so long, at the same time, it was a slow and steady decline for the worse. Ever since he left Florida State, it's been terrible. Whoa, hold on, you already know. To get into his story, we gotta throw it back to where things started. Coming out of high school in the California area, he was regarded as the 4th best quarterback in the country and overall a 4-star recruit. Not too bad. Although it was never really confirmed just how good he could have been at baseball, the only thing I could find is that he had a great arm, and as you know, those are rare to find. Now that I said that, I realize I kind of sound stupid because I'm sure some of you could have guessed that if he's playing the quarterback position, obviously he's going to have a good arm. He was in the class of 2016, and to make a long story short, he wound up signing with Florida State. According to the sources, when he got to Florida State, he was going to do the same thing Jameis Winston did. He was going to play football and play baseball. There wasn't a lot of controversy before he got to college. The only thing or rumor going on was that, yeah, his dad, he came back into his life and he was pestering him or wanting him to play football more than baseball. How true is that? I gotta be honest, I have absolutely no idea. The only thing that is clear facts and evidence is coming out of high school, he was an outstanding baseball player and he had a great arm, but when he got out of high school, he never played again. So that's why it's kind of fishy and everybody's like, yo, if he was this good, why would he just give it up if his plans were to play in the future? That's where the entire conspiracy theory came out, where everyone's trying to say, oh, his dad, he made him quit baseball to focus on football. Moving along, whenever he got to Florida State, it was shaky from the start. Him and the coaching staff were already having problems. On August 20th of 2016, it was stated that Malik Henry, who was in a quarterback competition and could potentially start, was suspended for violation of team rules. What makes all this even more mysterious is that it was never leaked down or said what he was suspended for. It was just labeled as quote-unquote team rules. It may not seem like a big deal to you, but in my eyes, whenever we see players get suspended, doesn't it always somehow find a way to get leaked out? I found it odd in this case that it never got leaked out until this day. It's just labeled as violation of team rules. Kinda fishy if you gotta ask me. Maybe it was just due to the fact him and the coaching staff are arguing, and that's all it is. Before we move on, I want to make this very clear. If he wouldn't have got suspended, there was a great chance he could have been the starting quarterback. If you don't want to take my word for it, check this out. In the spring game, he was 15 for 22 with 205 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. That's as bad as you can do, and I know what you're sitting there saying, yo, Matt, it's the spring game, but if you're in a competition, that's a big time game. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? It's where you go on and on saying, oh, if this didn't happen, then this wouldn't have happened, and blah, 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 blah. Ladies and gentlemen, if he wouldn't have got suspended from Florida State in the first place, we may not even be making this video. If you've ever seen Back to the Future, you know how if you alter one thing from 20 years ago, it can change everything in the world. That's what this situation was in my eyes. Malik Henry getting suspended from Florida State was a domino effect to terrible things that would eventually become. I hope you got a snack and a drink because we are just getting started and we haven't even got close to the best parts. Following his suspension from Florida State, he would leave and transfer to Independence Community College. This was one of the colleges that were selected to be on Netflix, aka The Last Chance U. I'm not going to talk a lot about The Last Chance U because there's literally a documentary about it, so if you want to check it out, you can feel free to do so. We're going to talk about the high points and what I think is key to our story. Well, what do you know? He had the same problems at Florida State, they just continued at this college. The only difference was that all of this was being documented and it was a reality TV show, so his attitude problems were being broadcasted to millions of people. I'm not big on criticizing people for their decisions off the field. Yeah, I'll criticize how you play on a game, but that's a different story. For example, if I say Bryce Young for Alabama, he's a terrible quarterback, he can't throw the football, that's different. I'm not taking personal shots at his character. Whenever you start to criticize a person off the field, that's a different story, and it's a little too much. I said that because I want you to understand, I don't want to beat Malik Henry down too bad. That's not what I'm about. I'm going to leave it at this. He had a bad attitude problem, his ego was way too high, and he was 10 times more than cocky. I can't even give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was doing it for cameras because he was doing the same stuff at Florida State. That's why he got kicked off the team. Let's talk about his play on the field. In his first year, which was 2017, in 10 games, he threw for 1,383 yards and 10 touchdowns. Nothing too special, nothing crazy, it was alright. He didn't have a lot of big time offers, and I can't blame colleges because there was a lot of red flags with him, so he wound up coming back for a second season. He only appeared in 2 games, and he got dismissed from Independence Community College again. When I say again, that means that's his second school he's gotten dismissed from. After his wishy-washy and debatable career at that community college, he would then kinda get lucky and find his way to a Division I school known as Nevada. Nevada, I don't know why I said it that way, I kinda had a brain lapse, you get the point. It seemed like this could have been the turning point in his career. If he would have acted right, played good, he could have potentially maybe got a shot at the NFL. This doesn't happen everywhere. As soon as he got to the program, he was already competing for the starting job. A lot of times as a freshman or as a transfer coming into a new school, you're not even going to have a chance to compete for it. So yeah, he caught a break with that one. Believe it or not, he actually started 2 games for Nevada in that 2019 season. One of those wins was in his first start where he led his team to a 41-38 victory over San Jose State. However, in those 3 games, he wasn't exactly all too good. He completed 42 out of 78 pass attempts, which is only roughly 54%. He threw for 593 yards, had 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions. In his last game for Nevada, he threw 2 interceptions, and right after it, the head coach removed him from the lineup and the roster. Nobody knew what was going on, but then it was leaked shortly after that he wasn't even going to participate with the team at all. The head coach stated he removed him from the team so he could focus on academics and his life off the field. What did that mean? Who in the heck knows, but the only thing you can assume is that he was having problems with the coaching staff and also some problems in his everyday life. Also too, like it said, he needed to focus on academics. Maybe his grades weren't so high. At the time, many didn't think too much about it. Some thought he'd come back in a week or 2, and little did they know that was the last time he would ever play college football. He never came back for a single practice, and he didn't even enroll in spring classes for the next semester. This is all kind of strange though, right? I mean, he got kicked off of not 1, not 2, but 3 college football teams. If this was baseball, he would have went 3 for 3. Alright, let me stop playing. This isn't a joking matter. Let's get serious. How many people in their life can say they got kicked off of every college team they played for? It can't be many. In most cases and scenarios, we see a guy, he may get kicked off of one team, and he did something bad, but he'll go to another school and he'll clean up his act. Typically, that's what happens, and I've seen scenarios where guys get kicked off of one team, they go to another team, and they get kicked off again, but not 3 times. And what's more weird and strange about this one is all 3 times it was relatively the same thing. He was dismissed for violation of team rules. I was thinking though, and I was doing a lot of digging and research, I was telling myself, man, that can't be it. There's gotta be some more information about this. It can't be as simple as, oh yeah, he violated some rules that they're not a big deal, we're gonna go on about our day. It had to be some serious violations for him to get kicked off of Florida State, get kicked off of Last Chance U, and everybody on that team has done something bad. So to get kicked off of that, that's a different conversation. And he got kicked off of Nevada. And well, what do you know? Your boy Matt found some answers. Before I even read off and say what I'm about to, let me make this 100% clear. Am I saying this happened? No, but it's what I found out. It's a rumor, and you know what, Matt, shut up. Let's get into it. I'll just read off this comment to you. I found it on Reddit and I also found some stuff on Twitter, but I'm going to read this one off. This person stated, I think the old coach who posted that message about him and how he dealt with drugs, Xannies, and some white substance had to delete the message. Because even if he turns out to still be good in baseball, no D1 program would accept him with all what we know about him right now. Okay, that changes the ballgame. I can't show you what the old coach said, but you notice in the first sentence, the person said an old coach posted the message about how he dealt with drugs. That coach did delete the message, but he didn't do it in a good amount of time for people on Reddit to find out what was going on. Come on now, let's be serious. How reliable is Reddit? Not so much. So I went to Twitter and did some more research. In 2017, some random guy tweeted out, if Malik Henry hadn't been selling drugs all over campus, he'd be starting right now. Not on Last Chance U Season 3. One tweet's not good enough though. I found another one from 2018. Quote unquote, I don't think Malik Henry likes football. He just happens to be good at it. His father pushes it on him. He's been entitled his whole life, and on top of all that, he has developed a drug problem. He's completely ruined. There was a couple more I happened to stumble across, but I just want to read you out those so you know I'm not just making this up. Another one of the rumors I happened to stumble across was that not only did he have a drug problem, but he was also dealing it. I'm going to leave you guys with this. You can do what you want with that information. If I had to take a guess at anything, throw a blind dart, I would say the drug thing, it sounds about right. Why else would every team he joined be so quick to kick him off? It had to be something that was pretty bad, right? And if he's doing drugs and some serious drugs, that's bad enough to kick him off a team. I'm also gonna put 2 and 2 together though. You know how he had a terrible attitude and he was really cocky? Well, drugs, they make you act that way. They make you act a certain way where if you didn't do them, you wouldn't do all that crap. So maybe, and it's just a maybe, that's why he was acting in such a disrespectful manner. Maybe he wasn't really this bad guy with a bad attitude, he just got addicted to drugs and he couldn't stop. Who knows? And like I said, this is all conspiracy theory talk right now. I'm just trying to piece all the information together. In reality, him doing drugs, that could be false information. You would think nobody would have sympathy for him and everyone would hate him, but viewers and fans of Last Chance U, they actually wanted to see this man succeed. Nick L said, I just finished watching the season. Part of me just wanted to hate Malik and his attitude, but part of me feels sorry for him. I think his father's dream of Malik making it, the way he went about handling, just burned Malik out on football. Maybe Malik just doesn't have a passion for the game, and that's okay. No excuse for the way he acted towards coaches, officials, and teammates though. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, leads us into our next point perfectly. If you did happen to watch Last Chance U, you know what I'm talking about. You got the vibe from Malik that he was depressed. It looked like at times he couldn't care less to be there and he wanted to do something else. Like I just read off on that comment, a lot of fans, they felt the same way. Everyone was saying he was depressed. And what do people do when they're depressed? They make bad decisions. Sometimes in certain situations, those bad decisions, they can be doing drugs, doing bad things. You get the point, you just make terrible life decisions. I'm very curious, so let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think happened and what do you think was going on behind the scenes? Anyways, getting a move on back on topic with Malik, his story didn't end at Nevada, he got another shot to play football. After 2019, he somewhat disappeared and nobody heard a single thing about him up until 2021. In 2021, this is when he officially signed with the Frisco Fighters, and you're probably sitting there wondering, who in the heck are the Frisco Fighters? Well, it's an indoor football league. If you are curious, the Frisco Fighters, they are located in Texas, and that's where he played for a while. Life definitely hits you fast. He went from being a 4-star recruit to potentially starting for Florida State to only a couple years later, he's playing indoor football. I hate to be that guy, but whenever you start playing indoor football, that is officially the bottom of the barrel of your career. Whoa, it doesn't end there. After signing with the Frisco Fighters, late in 2021, he then signed with the Jacksonville Sharks. If you are curious, it's another indoor football league, and he only signed with them about 4 to 5 months ago. It was in December of 2021, and that is the up-to-date on him, and there's been nothing else said. I'm also going to go out on a limb here to say his NFL dreams, they're over. You can mess up once, maybe twice, and possibly still get in the NFL. He's just messed up way too many times. That's just the off-the-field problems. He's only played literally 3 games of college football, and he threw 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. He's not even good enough to be in the NFL. That's the saddest part about his story to me. We couldn't even talk about his play on the field because there was so much stuff off the field that was holding him back. What do you got to the NFL with the off the field problems? Who knows? You can't even have that conversation. You know why you can't? Because we barely got to see him play. I don't even have much to say. There's nothing really to say. It's a sad story. It's a simple case of a guy who couldn't get out of his own way. It's super frustrating when you see guys like this. They have all the talent in the world, but they waste it. It is what it is. Let me know your thoughts down below. But with all being said, let's go wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed my peace.